Hi, this is Charlene Chamberlain, and you're listening to and watching Front Row on WTER. My guests today are Joe McGovern and David Andro. Sorry, Paul DeVilla can't be with us tonight, but they are the owners and the creators of Velocity Films, an independent film and production company. Welcome to Front Row, guys. Nice to see you.
Thank you for having us.
You're welcome. Tell me a little bit about Velocity Films, Joe.
All right, so Velocity Films is basically an independent film company stationed in South Jersey, Hamilton area, and basically we create a lot more art-based films. So there's a lot less dialogue to it, but a lot more action that's happening in the sequences, the scenes. So helps give our stories based off of emotion and a projection of character for the actors to help drive the story through.
And how long has Velocity Films been in operation?
About 2 years now. This summer we'll be running about 2 years.
And how did you found Velocity Films?
Basically, I had the pleasure of being able to work with our partner Paul DeVilla on our most recent film, Time Goes By. I acted for him, and then we came together and created Velocity Films. And I've worked with David Andro on other sets before in other films, and we pulled David in, and we've been working together ever since.
Well, that's great. Tell me a little bit about Time Goes By. I did watch it. It's a lovely, poignant film. What's the basic storyline on that?
The basic story for Time Goes By is a older gentleman who had military history. He just basically looks back on his life with his beloved, and she had passed away. So it's a nice little reoccurring of events throughout their life, and hits all the strong points to them parting and then coming back together due to the war, and then also after the war, with children involved, and also just having just basically a nice little look back and reflection on life in itself.
And where did you shoot that?
We actually shot it, if you get a chance to see it, it was shot in Delaware for the train station scene.
Okay.
So we went to Delaware to do that, and then we did the rest in Hamilton and Paulsboro.
Okay. And I heard some really, really exciting news about that film. Can you share it with our listeners?
The film was taken out to Cannes Film Festival, so I think that was a surprise for everyone.
And that happened because it was screened in Hollywood. I think you told me it was screened in Hollywood at Universal Studios, is that right?
Yeah.
And then Fox Searchlight Studios was interested too, and then they actually selected it to be one of the top 30 films nationwide to screen at the Cannes Film Festival this year. That's pretty amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
South Jersey is going to France. That's really wonderful. I'm so happy for you. So how can our listeners log on and watch that film? I think you have it on the internet, don't you? Is it on your site?
Yes, we do. It's www.velocityfilms.net.
Okay.
And then just it's the first film that comes up, so Time Goes By.
Okay. So let's have a look at some of the production stills. I think, do we have stills from that?
From Time Goes By, no, we don't.
We have stills from the new one.
For the new one, all over again.
Okay, so let's talk about the brand new one, and then we'll go into the one that's in production. Let's talk about that one.
Okay.
Do you want
to? We just finished up filming. What are we calling it now? Because I know we switched names 5 different times.
All over again.
All over again.
What's that about?
It's about I want to say a poet trying to find himself in the world.
Older guy.
Yes.
Right.
But more so, like Paul was, Joe was saying, we keep everything pretty much artsy, and we base everything more or less off of the emotion of the film. So we're going by the emotion on this one, and a lot of people who are trying to do things, be it music, acting, poetry, it's about just letting yourself go, but at the same time staying true to who you are And sometimes, a lot of people can lose sight of that.
You're one of them?
I have a question.
Oh, you have a question? Our producer has a question.
I have a question.
Go right ahead.
Do you guys, when you're doing a film, does the film start from, words or some type of written content versus your vision? You know what I mean? And if it is a vision more than words, do you ever get vision block? Is there such thing out there?
Like stage fright or?
I just saw something on 60 Minutes, and I've been seeing things about people, that creative people, have these blocks.
Creative blocks.
Blocks.
That's true.
That's when it comes down to you having a great team.
Songwriters.
Me and Joe will go back and forth. I mean, we should have carpal tunnel.
I think I kind of do, honestly, between all the typing that we're doing all the time.
How does this work? Okay, how does this work? At the end of the day, me and Joe, we've written 4 different movies trying to figure out the one that we're still working on.
Right.
Like, all right. Let's put these aside, but let's finish this one.
But speaking of that, I always find, I'm pretty creative too, I always find that if I have 2 or 3 projects in the works, even though they're unrelated, they are related because it makes me be creative in each one of those areas in a different way, and those projects all feed each other.
And somehow, whenever you're writing, you end up being able to just pick right back at that same place where you left off 3 months ago.
You're exactly right. So back to this film. Was it originally called The Guitars?
It was a working title.
I think I read your script that you sent to me.
It was a working title for a while, but we ended up naming it off the theme song all over again.
And I think we have the MP3 of that song. Do you have that in there?
Well, we're actually going to be recording in a sound studio too in time, but that's just a working theme song for right now for the credits. But
well, that's great that you actually even captured some music for it, so you get the feel of it.
Yeah,
usually that's done a little bit later, I think.
Well, we try to stay 5 steps ahead of the game, and that's pretty much my thing.
Keep it moving.
Let's go. No, I don't want to take any more time with this. Let's go on to the next step. But we get along great, but it's everything has ran so much more smooth when all of us are on the same page now.
Oh, absolutely. And you have to work as a team.
Yes.
You really do.
There's a lot of positives. Like, I'm blessed to say that we have Paul on our team, because there are a lot of things when it comes to technology where Paul will start speaking and I'm looking at him like he has 3 heads on his shoulders.
Say I'm the creative guy, I don't do that part,
right? Basically, it's David and I taking everything into pre-production, into production.
Okay.
Acting, producing, finding locations, scouting talent, writing. That's all the stuff that we typically like to do.
Okay.
And
all
then,
the pre-production work.
Yes, all the pre-production work. That we set the basis. And Paul does, his amount of writing too.
Sure.
So, but he really is like the master of the camera and the technology. So he just loves. Take it from production to post-production.
Does he handle the lighting too, or do you have a lighting guy?
We all work together. As of right now, with the setting the lighting and everything and adjusting. So.
How about casting? Who handles the casting? Do you do that as well? Do you both do
that?
I think I heard that you were in the middle of doing that right now.
Right now, we're casting for 2 upcoming films, and just put out the casting notices. We'll be holding the open audition at Caesars Atlantic City on March 29th.
Okay.
So setting up, the venue to have auditions, and now going through each agent, going through each casting agency, and now that part is done, which took weeks.
I know, because I'm on that other end. I know how that works.
Yeah. so you already know that could be very tedious. And it's back and forth with me and Joe. Okay, Joe, I need all the character breakdowns.
Right.
We need them to be in this format so we can send those out. Okay,
sure.
Now I need all the character descriptions. Now we need the synopsis. And once you have all that out there, that's when you put the casting notices out.
Right.
And they are endless.
I
Flooding.
know.
We've had everyone from California to
Sweden.
Mexico.
Oh my gosh. And then you also, you'll put a casting call out for, I need a blonde female between 20 and 25, and you'll get a 50-year-old who doesn't have blonde hair.
50-year-old.
But her, to be honest with you, her photo is going to be when she was 25.
Yeah, I know.
So-
I know. We go through
Yes.
that too. It's pretty crazy.
Come audition.
Yeah. Well, before we jump off, let's look at some of these photos, and then we'll talk about your new film that's in pre-production.
Okay.
You want to talk a little bit about? We can scroll through.
This is
Paul.
Paul.
This is Paul,
Yes,
who's
that's
not with us. Hi, Paul. Here you
Hi,
are.
Paul.
Here's your
Miss
moment.
This is Eric and Aubrey. They are our young main characters.
When they're young, in their youth, right?
Yes, their youth.
Okay.
And that's them again.
Okay.
There's,
On set.
Yes, on set. As at the Music Bus Cafe, by the way, in Pittman, New
I
Jersey.
know where that is. I've been there.
Oh, okay, it's
Very neat.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Love it. Now that's Vince and Joe. Joe is our guitarist, and Vince is our trumpet player, Kenny Diggs.
Okay. And Joe is the older lead.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
On set again. There's the guitar.
Oops,
Uh-oh.
that wasn't you.
Oops.
Because they only had, there was like
A 7 or 8. I pulled
seven
about
or eight.
7
Yeah.
or 8.
Yep.
So let's talk about the World War II film. I find this very interesting. It's a very interesting backstory, something I didn't know anything about. Do you want to take it away on that one?
Yeah. The character in this,
What was it? Does it call? Does it have a title yet? Was it Red Bull? Maybe.
we're going through working titles.
Okay.
Again.
What's the working title?
The working title right now. Well, we wanted to use Red Ball Express, but we couldn't use that one because that one was taken.
Right now we're looking at Greater
I was
Good.
going to say Greater
Good. Okay, working title for today. Just for today
for
is
today.
Greater Good.
We'll stick to that.
Okay.
But
What's the storyline?
it's about an African American male who, joins the war. Wants
World
to
War II.
World War
right.
II. Wants to let's get that straight.
Right.
World War II. Wants to serve his country, and at that time, African Americans were seen as weak, so they didn't want them on the front lines
Okay.
fighting. So he joins to be an ammunitions runner, and he's running weapons 400 miles back and forth to the front line.
Wow.
So at one of the instances, gets there, gets promoted because they're so short on the front line,
Mm-hmm.
and that's when you have the Battle of the Bulge.
Right.
Okay.
And it's another film where he's struggling on the outside with what's going on. Things that everyone can visually see. Okay, he's in the middle of all this. He's in the convoy. Trucks are getting blown up in front of him, behind him. There's murder everywhere. Visually, this is what everyone can see, but internally, we can't see that he's also struggling with himself. And I don't want
Right.
to say too much
No.
about it. I want to leave some secrets in
No.
there, but
Oh my God,
it's-
Battle of the Bulge, that was in France, right?
that
Right,
was,
we're in Europe, so
Yeah. Where are you going to shoot this?
we got our location scouted.
Okay. All right, can't tell, right?
No, not at the moment.
Not yet. So I had a really nice conversation with Sean Kling a couple of weeks ago.
Yes, Sean is our boy.
Let's talk
Big
about
shout
Sean.
out to Sean.
Yeah, hi Sean.
Hi,
Hello,
Sean. So Sean's the one who's really helping us out. I mean,
Yes.
tremendous work this man is doing for us. He is helping us find talent. He is also the one who connected us,
Right,
so that we
that's
could be able
right.
to
Mhm.
come on, and also getting us prop artillery. He's helping us with costumes,
Yeah,
wardrobe.
he told me that he has a warehouse
Yes, a
filled
warehouse.
with.
You can costumes from any era. You can about say.
That's amazing.
It's incredible.
That's my dream to go there.
Oh my goodness! I mean, when Paul and I went to his house, he had anything from Civil War up to Colonel Custard to
Right.
like War of 1812.
Oh,
like
no kidding.
Yeah, it's just.
He
it was
also-
great. I was like, this is awesome.
He also mentioned that he was maybe going to try and secure some authentic vehicles
Yes,
for you too.
indeed, absolutely.
Wow.
And
That was an amazing phone call. I was working on a project, I believe, that day, and I get, Dave, you're not gonna believe this. What's going on? Authentic vehicles, this, and this. Click.
What?
What just happened?
Magic happened. Movie magic happened.
It was great. So that's just, thanks to Sean, it's just another blessing that's come along. You know, so
Yeah.
this is, I'm excited.
So when are you going to start shooting this? Do you know yet? Do you have your
We're
shoot
looking
dates
at
yet? Your schedule yet?
Well, we're still formulating a schedule, but from what we've been discussing so far, we're looking about May,
Okay.
June timeframe latest
Weather
to start
should be
shooting.
good for outside because you have to shoot a
Absolutely.
lot of outdoor scenes.
Yes, it's going to primarily be all outdoors. There's going to be some inside scenes too,
Mhm.
but you know,
Are we disclosing the one location?
we can discuss it. I'll let you disclose it.
Okay, you can disclose the one location.
We will be filming on Battleship, New Jersey.
Oh, that's nice.
So
That's great.
That's gonna be fun. We went, I believe, the end of January.
Very cold.
Very cold.
Very
Snowy.
snowy.
to tour the whole ship,
Mhm.
and
That's pretty amazing, isn't it?
yeah, it was
Incredible.
very amazing. And us being able to have access to the whole entire ship.
That's
is just,
great.
Yeah, special thanks to Jack Wilder for
Yeah.
us,
Thank
helping
you,
us
Jack.
out with that. Absolutely.
But
I
it
know.
was an amazing day, and just seeing so much of history, and to know that we can actually film there on top of it.
Yeah.
It's great.
That is great.
Then the snow hit.
Yes,
Yeah.
and they got cold.
But it'll be nice when you go back.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I want to talk, since we are really a music program, and I'm so happy that we're doing some film today because I like all of the arts. I want to talk a little bit about creating music for films, and I know that you basically are also a songwriter.
Hmm.
So when you start working on a film or you have an inkling of an idea for a film, do you automatically start thinking of the music that goes with it, or does that come later?
Well, there has been some instances when I've been writing a screenplay, and sometimes I'll be imagining when I'm writing, I am imagining the scene. I usually sometimes pick people, even if they're not going to be the ones acting in it. I'll pick them and I'll be like, okay, this is who I'm going to
This is
use.
who I see.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. While I'm writing the scene, and I do actually imagine sometimes music
Okay.
while I am writing. And for example, one screenplay I was writing, I was imagining violin, or a cello, but that's
Okay.
just one instance. So sometimes I do imagine, a score being written, but that usually comes more towards the end of production,
Okay.
once we start getting the feel of the scene.
Right, and there are certain times where we have. I mean, now we have access to more up and coming composers, so listening to their music may inspire a certain scene. And
Or fit in somewhere.
yeah, and it's like, you know what, this will go great here. I know, Joe knows I'm notorious for doing that. I'll put a track on and say, listen, this is just a voiceover. Let me do it.
Right.
Listen, and this is what I'm saying at the same time. And like, I can't stress enough how honored I am to be with Joe and Paul, because there's certain people, I'm sure you guys know, you'll go take your vision to them and they're like,
You're crazy.
what are you talking about?
Yeah, they don't get it.
But the music definitely goes hand in hand, because I mean how many films have you watched and the music comes in and you're
Right.
already in tears?
Yeah,
Or
exactly.
That is really the
Yeah,
driving
that's
power
what-
of the
It is.
scene.
Yeah, it definitely pushes it along, and it's another language. So I definitely love tying music in with film. That's definitely one of the best parts of it right there.
So do you have do you go into a studio to record? How do you do it?
As of right now, we will be going to studios to record.
Is it like it's Pro Tools that you use for all that, right?
Right.
Pro Tools.
Yeah, and so we'll show them a scene, and we'll tell them what kind of music we're looking for scores, and then they'll start working with either just different musicians or composers,
Right.
programs, whatever we're looking for at the time. And once they get a feel for the scene as they see in our vision, and then we can collaborate together on the music and the scoring.
Right.
So it's just a nice little blend and mesh there.
And that's one of the hardest parts. And like I said, I'm sure you have to be able to put out there what you see, and for
That's
the
hard.
other person to say, is this what you mean? Is this what you mean? Some people may paint, some people may airbrush. So it's like, okay,
Right.
what are we doing here? But that's what makes this so fun and makes it not feel like work.
And I have a question. Well, I probably know the answer to this. Do you storyboard everything?
Oh
or no? Yes?
There's some screenplays where I'll actually just kind of free write.
Okay.
But there are mainly, yes, a lot of storyboarding, a lot of character building prior to writing.
Oh, and
especially when it comes to a feature.
Yes.
Short screenplay, you
Right.
can kind of get away with free writing.
Right.
A short story, like it's kind of like writing a short story.
Sure,
You
absolutely.
know,
It is a
there-
short story.
It is a short
Yeah.
story. So, you know, there's a little bit of leeway, but do, yes, like character building and storyboarding.
And I know in the old days, storyboarding was done, I mean, it was actually drawn out.
Mhm.
Yes.
On board storyboarding,
Mhm.
and now I know a lot of
Programs do
filmmakers have programs have it, but
Adobe.
a lot of guys are just using their little cameras and just saying, okay, this is the location here, and this is the
Mhm.
actor here, and you know they're just shooting little snippets and storyboarding it through video now, which
Mhm.
is great.
Yes,
It's
very convenient.
It's much more convenient and less time restraints. It's we're advancing in everything. Music, film, art period is
Mhm.
going into a whole nother level.
Dimension.
Yeah.
Yeah, that too.
The World War II film, is that going to be a short or is that a feature that you're working on?
That's going to be a feature.
So how many minutes will it be if it's a feature? We'll talk about the difference between a short and a feature for our listeners.
So a short film can run about between anything from, I've seen short films from 30 seconds,
Mhm.
animation clips, that's a
I
short.
saw one. There was something I saw online. It was a 6-second film.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
they actually have film festivals for
A
really
6-second
short.
film.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I mean it's just and short film can be anywhere from 6 seconds
Right.
to there's a cutoff of 59 to 60 minutes
Mhm.
typically,
Okay,
but
for a
mostly
short.
for a short. Sometimes
Okay.
features will lengthen to 40 minutes and on.
Right.
So
And can't stress enough. A lot of people have 6 seconds. I can do that.
You can though.
You can.
You can.
You
You can
can.
get your
Definitely.
message out
Definitely
there
do
in
that,
6
but
seconds.
it takes. You have to
Razor
definitely
sharp.
be on point because you have a lot to say in only 6 seconds.
Yeah.
it's
And
I
not
know.
much time.
that can be very powerful.
Right.
Mhm.
So, but that's what makes this fun.
So how long do you think it will take you to shoot the World War II? We're just calling it the World War II film now.
That works.
How long do you think you'll be shooting?
Well, we're
Will
gonna
you
be,
shoot through the summer?
yes,
Definitely.
We're gonna be pertaining mostly to weekends at the
Okay.
moment, just because everybody's got their day jobs at the moment. So,
Mhm.
for Thursdays, Fridays, working days as well for makeup scenes if we need them.
Right.
But
Definitely.
probably gonna be about May to. When I was talking to Paul maybe 2 days ago, it was about May to July, August finish.
And
So-
what are the plans for that after it's finished?
Going to post production immediately
Right,
and,
and then
start
After
editing.
post and
Then
editing?
we'll go to scoring.
Right.
And then we'll be going to film festivals. Well, waiting for the deadlines.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Making the deadlines.
And what film festivals do you think you'll enter it into?
I believe we were talking. Well, most likely going to enter into cons.
Mhm.
Sundance, maybe
Mhm.
Slam Dance, Tribeca. I'm hoping that we can possibly go to LA Film Festival, Toronto International Film Festival.
Oh, that's a really
Yeah.
great one.
Yes,
I know.
Toronto's a beautiful
Yeah.
one. Especially if we can go to Canada.
Yeah, Canada's nice. I
That'd be
go to
awesome.
Canada a lot. It's very nice.
I mean, there's so many. I really like for the guitarist short. I really want to see us go to Ann Arbor Film Festival.
Yeah,
that would be
okay.
fantastic. Or even for the World War II feature film, I want to see us trying to do moving picture awards too. So there's a lot to choose from.
There's so many
Mhm.
options.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing is completing the project and getting it out there. And I don't foresee any problems. We definitely have a great group.
Crew. And a good crew.
But like I said, the biggest obstacle is the talent, because like Joe said, most of these actors that are out there are still with their day jobs and
Yes,
stuff like that. So
that's tough.
so we have to
Work around their
when-
schedules.
When are you available? When are you free? When
Right.
are you available? But as long as everyone's out for the same goal, and that's getting the picture done and having it be the best project we can possibly have. And for something like this, that's going to be very moving. Music is going to tie into this.
Oh, absolutely.
Beautifully.
And you'll have period music. I
Oh
mean,
yes,
absolutely.
composing for that is
Period
going to be
music.
beautiful for our composers.
Absolutely, and I'm a big inspiring music. I'm not ashamed to say it. I will tear up in a heartbeat over
Yes.
a good film. But that's when you've done
Your
your job.
Mhm.
Yep.
So I would just like to ask you both to say a few words to any aspiring filmmakers out there. What kind of advice would you give them?
don't think you can't. Don't think that you can't do it. There's gonna be obstacles, but anything worth doing is worth doing right, and you're gonna have those obstacles that come in your way, but just keep at it. Not everyone can do this, but the ones who truly want to do it will do it. And as long as you stay focused and keep at it, if you actually have build up a love for it, you can do it. You know, it's that simple. And it goes with anything that you love.
That's good advice. How about you?
Oh.
From your end, because I know you do all the writing too, and music and everything else.
I don't know if I can be able to withstand that, but you
Well.
know, compliment. No, I'm just playing. Piggybacking off of that, yeah, it's about passion, drive. It's about never give up, never back down attitude. If you keep pushing, you come up to a wall. You keep pushing harder. You never stop. I mean, you're just gonna. You shoot for the moon, you land on the stars, you know, you'll never be disappointed as long as you try. If you don't try, you'll never have regrets. And at least that's what the most important aspect to creating art is to put it out there and give it your all. And maybe not everybody will like it, but you are guaranteed at least one other person will enjoy what you created.
Right.
So, you know, it's just never stop and just always keep pushing hard.
And I always say that creating art, any type of creative work, it feeds your soul.
Absolutely.
It really does, and you really need to do that.
Absolutely.
Well, once again, let's tell our listeners how they can find out about your films and how they can find out about casting and all that. What's your website address?
It's velocityfilms.net. If you are interested in coming to our audition,
Uh-oh, here we go. You sure you want to say this?
Send them on. We're already going through
Loading
them all.
already. We're going through tons.
You can send your headshot and resume to velocityfilms@outlook.com, or you can come to the open audition, which is March 29th. That's a Saturday at Caesars Atlantic City in the Mars Venus Room from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. Bring your headshot and resume or 8x10 photo, and bring a prepared monologue. If you don't want to bring a prepared monologue, email us and we'll send you character sides to go over.
Oh, that's great.
For those who
That's
don't know,
nice.
sides are script.
Right. That's great.
But yeah, we look forward to
Love
open
to have
audition.
you.
We'd love to have anyone who wants to come out.
Well, that's really nice. So fellow actors and fellow actor wannabes,
Absolutely.
please go on to the site, velocityfilms.net, and check out the wonderful films that the three of these guys have created, although one is missing today, Paul. So
Hi,
let's
Paul.
say hi, Paul.
Hey,
Sorry you're
Paul.
not with us. Thanks so much for joining me on WTER in Front Row. It was
Absolutely.
great to have you on as guest.
Thank you for having us.
You're welcome. This is Charlene Chamberlain for Front Row. Thanks for watching, and thanks for listening.